Welcome to Playfully Orange, our conversations about the arts here in Central Florida. My guest today is Alex Tiedtke, who is on the Board of Trustees for the Bach Festival Society of Winter Park, and he is the grants coordinator for the Enzian Theater. Welcome, Alex.
Happy to be here.
So you got a couple titles, which makes sense because you grew up in an art-supporting family, right?
Very true, yes.
And that's right here in Winter Park, Maitland, that you grew up, I think, right?
Yes, my great grandparents on my father's side actually moved to Orlando. They had a home on 50, I think at 50 in Magnolia or 50 in Summerlin. Anyways, before it was a bunch of commercial buildings. So they lived down there a while ago. And then my grandfather, when he got married, moved to Winter Park. My father was born in Winter Park. On Lake Maitland, I was born in Winter Park. On Lake Maitland, my sister lives on Lake Maitland next to my parents, and she has 3 boys there. So yeah, we're local and have been for a few generations.
And so did you think that you would actually be doing the kind of things you're doing now with the arts as you were growing up?
I was always connected to both Enzian and the Bach Festival Choir. Since I was a kid, since I can remember, really. I know that after Park Maitland School, I would crawl over the fence to Enzian Theater and go, play around the facilities, tried to get in trouble. And there's a nice creek in the back where you could go build dams and forts and stuff. So I spent a lot of my childhood there. And then I have some memories so young I only have snapshots of them. But my grandfather allowing me to faux conduct with John Sinclair with the Bach Festival. And that was, of course, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just a kid. But I remember getting up there and being able to wave the baton. And that was that's a very early memory. And then I've been in choirs my whole life. I went to school for voice at Denver University. And so when I came back, it was very natural to go back into the Bach Festival Choir. And yeah, so I never really thought about it much. I just have always been involved and plan to stay that way.
So in Denver, what were your experiences with the arts there?
I got a half ride to Denver University's Lamont School of Music for voice, and I went there for that scholarship and also to get away from home a little bit, which was what I felt like doing when I was 18. And I sang with the choirs all 4 years there, although I did change degrees early on when I was pitted up against other vocal students who were of the right caliber to actually have that scholarship and go for that degree. You find that out pretty quickly, that I have a better voice for choir, which is maybe not the right voice for solo singing. But that was my experience with the arts in Denver, was performing with the choirs there. And then, yeah, that was really it. Just a little bit of music school and then singing with the choirs for all 4 years.
I know you've traveled, and have there been choral experiences that you've encountered that are especially memorable?
Oh, absolutely. Gosh, quite a few. I tend to seek them out, as people do for, whatever they're passionate about. So what's a good one? I was this is a really interesting one. And actually, you know something about this. I was in Riga, Latvia, and the World Choral Organization was there. And just by happenstance. And so I was able to go listen to choirs from all over the world. And while I was there, I bumped into their artistic director, who was Morton Lauridsen, who's a well-known American composer and who had just a few months earlier come by the Bach Festival Choir to conduct the choir while we performed some of his music, the Lux Aeterna, which is very famous, and some of his nocturnes. And I recognized him in the choir. He's kind of got crazy frizzy hair, and he's eccentric and a great guy. And I ran up and was able to have a conversation with Morton Lordson in the square in front of the Opera House in Riga, half a world away. So, oh, and I got to hear the King Singers do their arrangement of "And So It Goes," which I still hum to myself all the time. And they're coming to visit Bach later this season, and I'm going to ask them if they'll do it. I'm going to try and get in there and see if I can place a special request.
Great. Well, have you encountered anything like the Bach Festival, Society of Winter Park, elsewhere?
I've heard professional choral orchestral performances in a few cities in Vienna, because my family's from there, so I go back to visit often in the winter to go see some snow for Christmas. So I've been in the Stephansdom and the Staatsoper there, a few of their other concert halls. They have maybe 100 large churches in Vienna, as they do in a lot of old European capitals, and so they're often performing music, and I'll find my way in there. And I've heard some much bigger productions over there as well, but none as good as the Bach Festival Choir.
Nice. Well, so Central Florida has the Bach Festival Choir. There's also a number of other choral organizations. What are we missing in Central Florida, if anything?
I'm not sure I could answer that.
We don't have 100
my affinity for choral music is avocational, and like I said, I got out of music school in my first year there, so I'm not a music historian or a theoretician, and I just joined the board at the Bach Festival Choir, so I think I can only speak as a fan and not someone who understands exactly how the group of choral, I guess, organizations in Central Florida and Florida in general all work together. So I can't answer that yet, but I intend to learn.
Great. Well, how about the Enzian? Have you always been a film devotee as well?
Not so much film as as with choir music, but the shorts programs there that they do during the festivals have always been wildly entertaining, and the facility is fantastic, and of course the grounds are beautiful, and I spent a lot of time there really helping to more or less keep the grounds in order, do a lot of the landscaping you see there. I designed the Eden Bar as well, so at Enzian I'm not as involved on the artistic product, the film, as much as I am on the facility and special events and some decor and renovation and things like this.
And grants coordinating?
Something I've just learned in the last 10 months. Thank you, by the way, for being so helpful. Yeah, so that's coming along well. I had some really good people at Enzian that were able to coach me, and everyone at United Arts has been really helpful as well. So it's so far so good. I haven't gotten any I don't know, any citations haven't been held after class yet, so I think we're going all right.
Good. Well, do you get out of Winter Park to see any arts elsewhere in Central Florida? Anything that sticks out?
My wife was a ballerina until she was 16, and so we like to go to the ballet. We're living in Brickell right now. I'm actually in an apartment building in Brickell, which is just south of downtown Miami, between Miami and Coconut Grove. Although I'm moving back to Winter Park in February, we are. And so we've seen a little bit down here as well. So we do go to the ballet. We saw the ballet do Carmina Burana with Bach as well when that happened. We go to quite a few of the performances at the Downtown Performing Arts Center. The venues there is quite nice, but I hope to go to more once we move back to Winter Park in February.
Great. Well, Alex, it's been great talking to you, getting to know a little bit about you and your work here, avocationally or professionally. And thank you for all you do to help our community be better at arts and culture.
Rock and roll.
And thank you all for watching this issue of Playfully Orange. Starting next week, our Diverse Orange and Playfully Orange will be alternating on Wednesdays instead of the Tuesday, Thursday schedule that we've been on. Thanks, everyone. Bye.